LeBron James just turned Philadelphia into an NBA nightmare. With Embiid, Jaylen Brown, and Maxey beside him, the Sixers could crush the league. But now LeBron's legacy faces its biggest test yet.
My favorite things about going to a 76ers game, it's the song. You know, the one, the 1, 2, 3, 76ers, that one. But with LeBron James and Jaylen Brown joining Tyrese, Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, and Joel Embiid, there's going to be so much more than just a big three out in Philadelphia, because you see this behind me, right? The Sixers, their projected starting five average a staggering 120 points per game last season, actually more. Only the Nuggets and the Heat scored more points as a team in a game last season, so that's wild.
But the scoring is only the beginning. Behind this terrifying lineup was a move that may have made LeBron's arrival possible, and Philly's front office is finally revealing what really happened.
So the wheels are in motion. You get Jaylen Brown. What kind of role did that move have in landing LeBron James?
Yeah. Without getting Jaylen, I don't think we get LeBron. Obviously Jaylen's one of the best players in the league, and to get him onto the roster with Tyrese, with VJ, with Joel, and then some of the free agents we got, obviously, before all this, it changed the game for us.
Take us through the entire LeBron process. You're on the phone with him. He's on the phone with Bob. He's on the phone with ownership.
Yeah, obviously after the Jaylen trade, LeBron was still out there, and we just said, hey, let's try to put a full court press. Everyone reach out, sell him on Philly. I think if he comes, he could be the missing piece, and we could be really good.
What was it like for you waiting? What was that process like?
It was exciting, nerve-wracking, because you're like, at some point it's like, man, just make a decision, but obviously we wanted to give him his space, which he rightfully so deserves, and obviously we're very, very excited that he chose us, and if he waited as long as he could, but I'm just glad he's a 76er.
What was it like when you got the phone call?
I get a text from Rich, with our group chain, with our ownership, Tyrese and Bob, and he said, Sixers it is, congrats. And I was like, whoa, and it was a surreal moment. So a moment I'll definitely remember forever.
LeBron's role here in Philadelphia, what will that be on this team?
LeBron's a connector. That's the one thing about him. He fits every role you possibly can. He's going to elevate everyone in the whole building. I know that much.
How do you see Joel fitting in here with LeBron?
It's funny, when LeBron was maybe a possibility, I went back and watched some of the Olympic tape, with him and LeBron, and those two played pretty well together. So I think Joel, it's like we have so many different options. Any given night, anyone can be the guy.
That revelation changes everything, because LeBron wasn't simply added to a contender. Philadelphia was building around a much bigger gamble, and Joel Embiid now has everything to prove.
Mike took the job in May, right? Took over for longtime president of basketball operations, Daryl Morey. One of the initial conversations he had with Joel was Joel telling him, I want to play a lot of games next year, and I want to get back to the all-NBA version of Joel. And obviously the motivation has only spiked since adding LeBron to the fore. Part of the conversation that Joel was having with LeBron and trying to recruit him there was telling him, I'm healthy. And you can see from the images, clearly he's shed weight. He's been in the gym a lot, and this is a huge season for him. Really, this is in my opinion, the biggest opportunity he's had since the Sixers added Jimmy Butler in 2019, where they were one bounce away from the conference finals.
Right.
Of that Kawhi Leonard shot we all remember. Now he gets Jaylen Brown and he gets LeBron James, and guess what? The sand in the hourglass is getting less and less for his career.
And now the pressure gets even heavier, because with LeBron comes a brutal question about legacy. And suddenly, Philadelphia isn't just chasing a championship, it's challenging history.
Now, I'm thinking of KG and the Boston, the big three that they had as well in joining forces. And we're talking about LeBron as well. Those players, Kevin Durant, KG, those players are not considered amongst the GOATs. Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Michael Jordan. Those players are considered GOATs of the NBA of all times. 3 out of 4 of them stayed with the same team pretty much their whole career, with the exception of MJ going to Washington. Because, you know, he was trying to do ownership type stuff.
Yeah.
So what is your guys' thought process on LeBron chasing it? And can two things be true? Can you still be the greatest player of all time, but still go to different places and chase that ring?
Well, I think most of us, especially in the basketball arena, you know, most of us judge LeBron based on the guys that you just mentioned. And I'll throw one more guy in there, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, captain.
You know,
Goats.
and he got traded from Milwaukee to LA, right? So 2 teams in his whole career. MJ, 2 teams basically, you know, in his whole career. So when you're judging LeBron, you're looking at the greatest players of all time and what they did at those organizations. They never basically never left, right? So I think he gets judged pretty harshly because of the fact that he's bounced around. What is this, his 15, something like that?
Well,
Cleveland,
you count
Miami.
Cleveland.
No, you got to come. Yeah, twice in Cleveland.
Twice in Cleveland.
Miami, the Lakers, and now Philly, right?
That's
Look at the
5.
history of the NBA. Most great players that are considered the greatest, you know, even Will Chamberlain. You start Bill Russell, you start going down the line. Most of those guys play with one team, maybe 2.
Yeah.
You know, so I think the standard that we're holding him up on is probably sometimes a little unfair because of the fact that, you know, those guys, again, they make their own decisions. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And LeBron, you know, like it or not, you know, he's able to go to this team, this team, this team, this team. But I think when you start to really kind of unravel everything, that's not what great players do.
LeBron has never been traded.
Right, he's left.
He's always made his decision. Multiple decisions. We even had the big decision. He's always made a decision. He's always made a choice to go somewhere. Some of those guys, Kevin Durant did it one time to the Warriors, but the other times he'd been traded. Mm-hmm. So that's general managers and teams. And so to me, that's what we got to understand also, is that LeBron has always made those decisions. I'm leaving. I'm going over here. I'm going there. So you have a choice to make. And he tries to find the best possible situation for himself, which he has a right to do. Okay? But at the same time, if you pick the Philadelphia 76ers with this ready-made stacked team, we can critique it.
Okay.
No, we gonna critique it.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna
talk about it.
And so I'm gonna ask you guys both a question. I just want you to give me just one short answer. Does that hurt his legacy by him going to 5 different teams and him choosing the teams?
It changes the legacy. I don't think it hurts it. It changes the dynamics because more things come into play now.
Based off of what we're talking about, Magic, Kobe.
But it just changes the
Jordan.
dynamic. He's still a great player. He's
I'm gonna
still
say
one
no.
of the
I'm gonna make it
GOATs.
very simple. No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not.
Philadelphia didn't just add LeBron James. They may have built an NBA nightmare. Put LeBron next to Joel Embiid, Jaylen Brown, and Tyrese Maxey, and suddenly the Sixers have far more than a big 3. Their projected starting 5 averaged more than 120 points per game last season, an absolutely staggering offensive ceiling. But here's the part that makes this story even crazier. Jaylen Brown may have been the key to getting LeBron in the first place. Philadelphia's front office admitted that without acquiring Brown, they don't believe they get LeBron. Once Brown arrived, the Sixers went into a full-court recruiting effort, with the front office, ownership, and players all selling LeBron on Philadelphia. Then came the text. Sixers. It is. Congrats. And just like that, LeBron was heading to Philadelphia. But this wasn't simply about adding another superstar. LeBron believes this roster can become something special. But if LeBron is the final piece, there's one player who now carries an enormous amount of pressure: Joel Embiid. This could be the biggest opportunity Joel Embiid has had since the Sixers added Jimmy Butler in 2019. That team came within one Kawhi Leonard shot of the conference finals. Now Embiid has another chance, but this time the supporting cast is even more explosive. LeBron at the 4, Jaylen Brown beside him, Tyrese Maxey running the offense, and Embiid has already made his intentions clear.
When Philadelphia's new leadership arrived in May, Embiid reportedly told them he wanted to play a lot of games and get back to the all-NBA version of himself. He even used his health as part of his pitch to LeBron. And the transformation is visible. He's reportedly shed weight, spent serious time in the gym, and appears determined to make this season different. Because the clock is ticking. LeBron's career is entering its final chapters, and Embiid doesn't have unlimited opportunities left either. This isn't simply another talented Sixers roster. This may be their moment to finally prove that all the potential can become a championship. And that's where the biggest controversy begins, because LeBron's arrival doesn't just raise championship expectations. It raises the question of legacy. LeBron has never been judged like an ordinary superstar. He's compared with Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, players whose careers became deeply connected to one or two franchises. LeBron's path is completely different. Cleveland, Miami, Cleveland again, the Lakers, and now Philadelphia. And that's why critics argue that constantly choosing new championship situations changes the way history should view him. But there's another side. LeBron has never been traded. He's always made the choice himself. He chose Miami. He chose Cleveland again. He chose Los Angeles. And now he has chosen Philadelphia. So does that hurt his legacy? Maybe not. But it absolutely changes the conversation. Because if this stacked Sixers team wins, LeBron could add another championship while proving he can walk into another environment and turn it into a contender. But if Philadelphia fails, the criticism will be brutal. 4 major stars. More than 120 points per game of projected offensive firepower. A championship-ready roster. There will be nowhere to hide. And that's what makes Philadelphia so fascinating. LeBron isn't simply chasing another ring. He's stepping into one of the biggest legacy tests of his career. If Philly wins, history may celebrate the move. If Philly collapses, history will remember it too. Philadelphia didn't just acquire LeBron James. They put 4 massive names on one championship bet. And now the entire NBA gets to see whether it becomes a dynasty or a disaster.
Yo, mic check 1 to 2, -1, -2. Game over for this video, folks. Smash that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to stay in the huddle for more. This is NFL Madness, bringing the heat and signing out.